Hello, hello, my little friends in grade 4. How are you? Hope all of you are okay. This is me, Mrs. Lorna Muhammad, and I'm so happy to be with you today. Tell me, are you ready for your exams? Of course, yeah, inshallah. But today I'm here with you to revise with you some important things before your exams. Are you ready to start? Okay, let's start. At the first, let's start to talk about the value and the place value. Did you remember this? Sometimes he asked you about the value or the place value of any digit in the number. So what is the difference between them? Let me tell you something. If he asks you about the value, you have to say number. But if he asked you about the place value, you have to tell him or you have to answer by name. But not any name, not like Ahmed and Muhammad and like this. No, the name of the place which this digit belongs to. Okay, so as you know, we have many families. The smallest family or the poorest family is ones. After this, we have the family of thousand here. And after the family of thousand, we have the family of million. And after this, we have the family of milliard. This is the greatest one between them. And in each family, we have three digits. It means we have three places. What about them? Oh, we have ones, tens, and a hundred. And also in the family of thousand, we have ones, tens, and hundred like this. So again, we have many families. And in each family, we have three places, ones, tens, and hundred. So, for example, if I asked you about the place value of the digit 6 here, 6 here in which place? Oh, it's in million. But in which place in million? In the ones of million. So we can say it's in million. What about the digit 6 here? Oh, 6 lies in the tens of thousand. Not in any place in the thousand. No, it's in the tens place. So we can say its place is what? Tens, 10,000. Okay, what about the value of 6? How can we get the value of 6? It's in 10,000. So we just write 6 and beside it, how many zeros? It's according to its place. 10,000. So we have 1 0 for 10 and 3 zeros for thousands. Okay, this is about the value and the place value. Let me remind you about the ways of writing numbers. How can we write this number? Oh, we have three ways. The first one is the standard form. And in this one, we have to write the number as digits like this, only like digits. But what about the word form? Oh, to write the number in the word form, you have to write it as you read it. So how can we read the number? If I want to read the number, you have to separate each three digits together like this. 1, 2, 3, and put comma. 1, 2, 3, put comma like this. After this, we start to read it from the left. So 1, in which family here? It's in milliard. So we can say 1 milliard. After this, the next group. In the next group, we have what? 356. What? Million, because it's in the million family. Okay, after this, 568,000. After this, 401. Okay, this is the poorest family. So together again, we can say it's 1,356,568,401. And this is the word form. Okay, what about the next one? We have expanded form. How can we write the number in the expanded form? Okay, all the time if I want to write the number in the expanded form, you have to write each digit with its value. So we start with 1. 1 here in which place? It's in milliard. So we can write 1 milliard. Plus, after this, we have 3 in 100 million. So we can write 300 million. After this, we have 5 in 10 million. So we can write 50 million. Plus 6 million. Plus 500,000 plus 60,000 plus 8,000 plus 400 plus 1. Okay, so again, to write the number in the expanded form, you have to write it as each digit with its value. Okay, now let's start to solve the first question here together. He asked you to choose the correct answer. The place value of the digit 3 in this number. What is the number? This number is what? 3,254,568. What is the value of the digit 3? Okay, the place value, sorry. The place value of 3 here, it's in the million, please. Okay, what about the next one? 20 tenths. Oh, we can cross the word tenths and put how many zeros? 1, 0. So it becomes 200. Okay. The value of 5 in the number 256,319. What about the value of 5 here? Oh, 5 in the 10,000. So its value is 50,000. Let's move to the next number, to the next question, sorry. 3,006,024 in the standard form. Okay, how can we make like this one? At the first, we start from here, 3 million. So 3 in the family of million. So we can write 3 like this. This is the family of million. So after the family of million, we have what? We have the family of thousand. So make like space for this family. After this, the family of ones, the poorest family. Now we can continue. He said you 6,000. So we have 6 only in the family of 1,000. So it's in the ones of this family. So we can put it here. What about these two places? Can we let them like this? No, all the time you have to put the zeros. Okay, now let's move to the next. 24. So we have to put 24 only. But now we have 2 digit only, so we have to put 1 0. Don't forget this. So it's gonna be which answer from here? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. He said to you the number 5,325 in the decomposed form. What about this one? Okay, it's like the expanded form. It's like it. We can start from here. 5 in which place here? It's in 1,000 place. So we can write it as 5 times 1,000. So let's search about your answer in the choices here. Okay, here we have 5 times 1,000 and here also we have 5 times 1,000. So let's see which one of them. Let's continue. 3 in which place here? Oh, 3 in the 100 place. So it's 3 times 100. So let's return here again. Okay, this is 3 times 100. But here he wrote 2 times 100. So this one it's not right. But let's make sure from the next 2 digits. Here he said you 2 in tens place. So it's 2 times 10. This one 2 times 10, okay. After this 5 in ones place. So it means 5 times 1. So this is the right answer. So again, to write the number in the decomposed form, you have to write each digit, but multiplying by the number of its value, like this, 5 in the 1,000 place, so we can write 5 times 1,000, plus 3 times 100, plus 2 times 10, plus 5 times 1, and so on. Okay, let's move to the next question. In this one, look, he said to you 80,000 equals what times as many as 800? Okay, how can we solve like this one? Look, times means times, multiply. As many as 800. So we can write 800 like this. Now compare between these two numbers. What times 800? It's gonna be 80,000. Oh, of course we need the 2 more zeros to make this number like this one. So it's 100 times 800. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. Complete. He said to you 6,000 plus 500 plus 20 plus 1 equals what? He already wrote this number in the expanded form. So how can we answer now? We have to write the number in the standard form. We have to compose the number. Instead of decomposing, we have to compose it. So we start again from here. 6 in the 1,000 place. So we can write 6. After this, we have 3 places more. So let's continue. Plus 500, it means 5 in the hundred place. So we can write 5 here. Plus 20, so 2 in the tens place. Plus 1, so we can write in the ones place. It's the poorest place. Okay, so our number again is what? 6,521. Now let's move to the next question. He said to you the greatest number can be formed from the digits 3, 6, 5, 4, 8, 2, and 9. How can we get the greatest number now? Okay, if you want to get the greatest number, you have to arrange these digits from the greatest to the smallest. So which one between them is the greatest? It's 9, of course. So we can start to write 9. After this, and proceed to not to get confused after this if you take it or not yet. Okay, after this, choose the greatest one between them again. So it will be 8. So we can write 8. After this, we have 6. So we can write 6. After this, 5. Then 4. Then 3. And the smallest one between them is 2. Okay, now we can separate each 3 digits together. 1, 2, 3, and put comma. 1, 2, 3, and put comma again. And we finish. So our number is what? 9,865,432. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Okay, we have to add these two numbers together. You can add them horizontally like this, or you can align them above each other to add them together. But let's add them like this. I think it's easy for you. Let's start. At the first, you have to start to add or subtract both of these. You have to start from what? From the right or or from the left? You have to start from the right all the time. So start from this one. 4 plus 5 equals 9. After this, 5 plus 6 is gonna be 11. So we can put 1 and carry up 1 on the next digit. 1 plus 6, 7. 7 plus 3 is gonna be 10. So we can put 0 and carry up 1 in the next digit. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 3 again is gonna be 7. And finally, 2 plus 1 is gonna be 3. Okay, let's move to the next question. Let's align this number above each other to not get confused in subtracting. Okay, let's start. 65,254 minus 23,628. Let's start to subtract them together. But let me change the color. Okay, at the first, 4 minus 8, oh, it can't be. So we borrow 1 from 5. 5 will be 4. What about 4? It's gonna be 14. Now we have the 14 minus 8, it's gonna be 6. And 4 minus 2, 2. 2 minus 6, oh, again, so small. So it can't be. So I borrow 1 from 5. 5 will be 4. And these 2 will be 12. Now we have 12 minus 6. It's 6. After this, 4 minus 3, it's 1. And 6 minus 2 is gonna be 4. So our answer here is what? 41,626. Okay, I think this one is easy for you. Now let's move to the next part. Let's revise together the rounding. What is this? What is the meaning of rounding? You already know the rounding, it's replacing a number with another or with a simpler number that's close to the original number, but it's not the real one, okay? But it's close to it. But how can we do like this? For example, if you have this number 35, could you tell me, is it close to 40 or close to 30? Which one of them? Oh, we have the rules. You have to follow them to round each number. Okay, so what is this rule? At the first, you have to find your number that I asked you about. After this, look at the next door. If it's 5 or more, so it's strong, so we raise the score. But if it's 4 or less, so it's so weak. So let it rest. Now let's solve together the first question here to check your understanding about it. Let me read it. 34,089. He asked you to round this number to the nearest 10,000. So what is the first step? Is to find the digit in the 10,000 place. We have what in 10,000 here? We have 3. So we underline 3 and circle 4. 4 it's strong or weak? Oh, it's weak. It can't do anything. So we just replace it by 0. And what about the next digits? Also replace them by zeros, like this. So this number, it's approximately equals what? 30,000. Okay, I think it's easy. Now let's move to the next question. The additive identity element is. What is the additive identity element? Oh, did you remember about the identity? All the time, the identity, it's like the mirror. You can't see yourself in it. So what is that? What about the additive? Refer to addition. So plus. So ask yourself, what is the number if you add it to another one? You will get the same number. For example, 3 plus what equals 3, the same number? It's 0. So this is the mirror of addition. So this is the additive identity element. So again, the additive identity element is 0. But could you tell me what about the multiplicative identity? Oh, what is the mirror in multiplication? 3 times what equals 3? Oh, of course, 1. So 1 here is what? It's the multiplicative identity element. Okay, let's move to the next question. 24 plus 25 equals 25 plus 24. What did you notice here? What can we do? Okay, oh, we just change the order of numbers. Here in this number, in this one, we start with 24, but here we start with the 25, sorry. So the numbers here like changes their places. So this is which property? Okay, this is a commutative property. Did you remember this? So again, in commutative property, we just change the order of numbers. This is in addition and in multiplication also. Don't forget this. Now let's move to the next question, which is the best to include in the explanation of the commutative property of addition. Let's start. Let's see these choices, okay? And talk about them. 9 plus 0 equals 9. Oh, this is which property? Did you remember? Okay, this is the additive identity. So it's not commutative. What about this one? 6 plus 9 equals 9 plus 6. Oh, the numbers changes their order. So this is the commutative. So this is our answer. Okay. Now let's move to solve this question together. He asked you to complete the missing part here. 354 plus the sum of what? 116 plus 243 equals the sum of 354 plus what? Plus 243. Okay, let's compare the numbers in both sides together. Look here, we have 354. It's the same like here. And also we have here 243. It's the same like this one. So, of course, the third one, it's like the third one also. So 116, it must be like this number. So the missing number here is what? 116. And if you know, did you notice here we have what? We have parentheses. We just change the place of the parentheses. So this is which property? Oh, this is the associative property. Okay, don't forget this. Let's answer the next question. He gave to you this number 16,701 and asked you to round this one to the nearest 1,000. So at the first you have to underline the digit in the 1,000 place. We have what in 1,000? We have 6, so underline 6 and circle the next door, which is 7. 7 is strong or weak? It's strong. So it will give 6, 1. And we can put instead of 7, 0, and this still 0, and this one replace it by 0. So our number is gonna be what after rounding? Gonna be 17,000. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. 3 kilogram equals how many gram? Did you remember how to convert from unit to another? Let me remind you at the first. Okay, if I want to change or convert from kilogram to gram, from a big unit to a small unit, all the time from big unit to small unit, we have to multiply. But multiply by what? From kilogram to gram, we multiply by 1000. What about the inverse? From gram to kilogram, all the time, if you want to change from small unit to big unit, you have to divide. But divide by what? Also divided by 1000. Now we can solve this question. 3 kilogram equals how many gram? You just multiply by 1000. So 3 times 1000, it's gonna be 3000. Or you can add the 3 zeros only like this. Okay, what about the next question? 2300 gram equals how many kilogram and how many gram? Okay, let me tell you a trick to solve like this question. You are in no need to do anything, just to separate your number from the thousand family or from the thousand place. Like this. Separate it. Separate it from where again? From the thousand. Okay, what about after this? What can we do? Yeah, you just take the digit in the thousand place and put it in kilogram. And take the rest, which is the 300, and put it in gram. But why we did this? Because of course, if we compose this number again, 2 kilogram, it means what? It means 2000 gram. Because of this, we already take the digit in the thousand, please. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. 13 liter and 30 milliliters equals how many milliliter? Oh, it's how to convert now from liter to milliliter. It's not kilogram and gram. So let me remind you also, if I want to change from liter to milliliter, you have to multiply. Multiply by what? By 1000 also, like from kilogram to gram. And what about the inverse? From milliliter to liter, we have to divide also by 1000. Now let's solve the question. 13 liter and the 30 milliliter. It's like the last one. We will take the number of liter and put it in the thousand family. So 13 in the thousand family. And take the rest and put it in the family of ones, which is 30. But can we write the number like this? Could we have 2 digits in family? No, we must have 3 digits, so we have to put 0 here. Okay, now let's continue. Let's move to the next question. 5,700 milliliter equals how many liter and how many milliliter? It's the same like this. You have to separate your number from the thousand place. Okay, into two numbers. Take the number in thousand. This is 4 liter, so 5 liter. And they take the other number in one's family and put it in milliliter. So we have what again? We have 5 liter, 700 milliliter. Now let's play with another units, the units of measuring length. Oh, how can we change this one? 1,800 centimeter is equivalent to how many meters? Let me remind you at the first about the units of measuring length. Okay, the smallest unit is what? Is millimeter. So we can put it in the first step here of these stairs. In the next step, we have one unit, it's more or greater than this one, which is what? Oh, centimeter. After centimeter, we have the decimeter. After decimeter, we have the meter. And after 3 steps, we have kilometer. Okay, not the next step, no, after 3 steps. Now tell me, if I want to change from kilometer to millimeter, from big to small, you have to multiply or divide? I think you have to multiply. Yeah, what about the inverse? If I want to change from small unit to big unit, You have to divide. Don't forget this. Now let's play with these stairs to solve our question. He said to you now, 1,800 centimeters. It's equivalent to how many meters? How can we solve like this question? Okay, you have to know something. If you go up the stairs, you have to lose zeros. What about if you go down from big unit to small unit? Oh, you have to gain zeros. So from centimeter to meter, you go up or go down? I think we go up. You have to calculate or to count how many steps you have to go up. Look, from centimeter here, I want to go to what? 2 meters. So one step, 2 steps. We have 2 steps. So we have to lose how many zeros? 2 zeros. So we just cancel 2 zeros from here. Means we divide by 100, by the way. So it's gonna be 18 meter. Let's move to the next question. Okay, 18 kilometer and 23 meter equals how many meter? Okay, this question, it's like kilogram and gram. It's the same. We have to take this number and put it in the thousand family. So 18 in the thousand family. And we continue. We will take this number and put it in the ones family, which is 23. Could we put 23 alone? No, we have to put 0 to make them 3 digits. Okay, now let's continue the next one. 4,400 meter equals what kilometer and what meter? Of course, it's the same. You have to separate your number from the thousand into two numbers. The digit in the thousand, you have to put it in kilometer with the greatest unit. And the rest, 400, we have to put it with the meter. So it's gonna be 4 kilometer and 400 meter. Now let's see the last question in this slide. 9 meter minus 80 centimeter equals how many centimeter? Oh, you have to ask yourself, they could play together or not? I think they can't play together now. Why? Because they have different units. So what can I do to make them can play together? You have to change one unit to be like the other one. But which one of them? Okay, if you want to know which one of them, you have to return to this, to the answer here. He told you with the centimeter, so he wanted the answer of this question with the centimeter. So now we have to change this meter to be in centimeter. So 9 meter to centimeter, if I want to change from meter to centimeter, or from big to small, you have to multiply or gain zeros. How many zeros? From meter to centimeter, let's count how many steps. 1, 2. So 2 steps, it means we have to gain 2 zeros. So it's gonna be 900 centimeter. Minus what? Minus 80 centimeter. And if we subtract them, it's gonna be what? Let's see. At the first, 0 minus 0, it's gonna be 0. And 0 minus 8 can't be, so it will 1 from 9. 9 will be 8. And this 0 is gonna be 10. So 10 minus 8 is gonna be 2. And we bring down 8. So it's equal 820 centimeter. Okay. Now let's move to another kind of units. 7 weeks and 1 day equals how many days? Oh, let me remind you about the units or how to convert from unit to another one. But which units? The units of time, of measuring time. Let me ask you, how can we convert from week to day? Oh, from big to small, you have to multiply. But multiply by what? Oh, of course, we have 7 days in a week. So we have to multiply by 7. And the inverse, from day to week, we have to divide by 7. What about if I want to change from day to hour? Okay, we have 24 hours in a day. So we have to multiply by 24. And from hour to day, we have to divide by 24. What about if I want to change from hour to minutes? Oh, we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. So we have to multiply by 60. And if you want to do the inverse, you have to divide by 60 also. What about if I want to change from minutes to seconds? Oh, in 1 minute we have 60 seconds also. So we have also to multiply by 60, and from seconds to minutes we'll have to divide by 60. I think now we can solve this question. 7 weeks and 1 day equals how many days? So you have to change these weeks to be in days. But how can we change 7 weeks? We change from week to day, you have to multiply by 7. So 7 times 7 equals 49. So we have the 49 days. But we still have 1 day. So together 49 plus 1 is gonna be 50 days. Let's move to the next. 1 day and 5 hours equals how many hours? Okay. 1 day. In 1 day we have how many hours? We have 24. So 24 hours plus 5 hours. 24 plus 5 is gonna be 29 hours. So easy. Let's move to the next. 10 hours and 30 minutes equals how many minutes? Now we want to change from hour to minutes. What can we do? Okay, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So we have to multiply this number by 60. Let's multiply them here. Yeah, 10 times 60 equals what? Yeah, we just bring down the 2 zeros and we have 6. So it's gonna be 600 hours. And the 30 minutes, add them together now. Sorry, not hours. This one is minute. We already changes from hour. Okay, so 600 minutes and the 30 minutes. Now together it's gonna be 630 minutes. Okay, let's read the last question together. Okay, Fatma started cooking at 6:15 p.m. So this is the starting time. For 15 minutes, okay, she spent this time during her cooking. Okay, so she finished at what? How can we do now? We just add 600, 6, sorry, and 15, the first one, plus what? Plus the times that she spent, which is 50 minutes. So we can add here 50. But what about hour? No, she didn't have still more time. So 0 in hour. Now let's add them together. 5 plus 0 equals 5. 1 plus 5 equals 6. And the 6 plus 0 equals 6. But did you see before time like this? 65 in minutes? No. So again, if you have in minutes more than 60 or more than 59, you have to change it to what? Okay, let's play with it up here. 65. 65, it's what? Remember with me, in 1 hour we have how many minutes? Okay, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So now we have what? 65 minutes. It means we have what? We have 1 hour, okay, and 5 minutes. So we have to increase the number of hour by what? By 1. So instead of 6, it's gonna be 7. And what about the number of minutes? It's gonna be 5 minutes, okay? So she will finish at 7 and 5 minutes. Okay, don't forget to write PM. This is afternoon, yeah. Okay. Now let's move to the next part, or let me remind you about the rules of area and the perimeter. Let's start with rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? The area of rectangle equals length multiply width. What about the sometimes the length is missing. So how can we get it? Oh, we just divide the greatest number, the area, by the width. And if the width is missing, also we can divide the area by length. What about the perimeter of rectangle? Okay, we have 3 formula to get the perimeter of rectangle. We can add all the sides. So we can say length plus width plus length plus width. Or we have another rule. We can say 2 times length plus width. But what about if this length is missing? How can we get it? Okay. If the length is missing, you have to divide the perimeter by 2. After this, subtract the width. So length equals what? Perimeter divided by 2 minus the width. And by the same way, if the width is missing, you have to divide the perimeter by 2. And after this, subtract the result. Um, Subtract the length from this result. Okay, now let's play with the square. Okay, the perimeter of square is what? 4 times side, because all the side in the square are equals in length. So from this, what about if the side is missing? How can we get the side? We just divide the perimeter by 4. Okay, don't forget this. What about the area of a square? The area of a square, it's a side times side. It's like the area of rectangle, by the way. But in the square, we have equal sides. Because of this, it's instead of length times width, side times side. Okay. Now let's start to solve the first question here. He said to you a square of side length 5 centimeter, then its area. Oh, the area of a square, it's side times side. So it's what the area of a square again. He said to you the length here is 5. So you can say 5 times 5, which is 25. And don't forget the units of area all the time must be square unit, squared meter, squared centimeter, squared decimeter, whatever. This one, but the important thing is this square. Don't forget this. Okay, let's move to the next one. The perimeter of a square of side length 10. He asked you about the perimeter now. The perimeter of a square, it's a side times 4. So we can say 10 times 4, which is 40. 40 what? 40 meter. The area of rectangle equals what? Oh, in this question, you just have to write the rule or the formula. So the area of rectangle equals length times width. Or you can write them as words. The next question. A rectangle, its length is 8 centimeter and its width is 4. Then its area is what? Just multiply them together. 8 times 4 equals 32 squared centimeter. Don't forget this square. The perimeter of the rectangle whose length is 6 meter, this is the length, and its width is 3. So how can we get the perimeter? Okay, the perimeter equals what? Length plus width times 2. So you can add 6 plus 3 and multiply the result by 2. 6 plus 3 equals 9. 9 times 2 is gonna be 18. So 18. 18 what? 18 meter. This is the perimeter. Okay. If the area of a rectangle is 30 squared meter, this is the area now, and its width is 5 meter. So the length, how can we get the length? Did you remember? Oh, we have to divide 30 by 5. Divide the area, the greatest number, by the other side. So 30 divided by 5 equals what? 6. 6 what? 6 meter. Don't forget the unit. Let's continue to the next. The perimeter of a square is 36. This is the perimeter. And this is what again? This is square. Okay, then the length of each side. How can we get the length by knowing the perimeter? We just divide the perimeter by 4. So 36 divided by 4 equals what? Equals 9. So it's gonna be 9 centimeter. Let's move to the next one. If the perimeter of a rectangle is 26 meter, so again, 26 meter, this is what? This is the perimeter of the rectangle. And its length is 5 meter. So this is the length, sorry. Again, so 5 here is what? 5 here is the length. Then its width. How can we get the width now? It's missing. To get the width, you have to divide the perimeter by 2. So divide 26 by 2. After this, we have to subtract what? We have to subtract the other side, the length, which is 5. So 26 divided by 2 is going to be 13. 13 minus 5 equals 8. 8 what? 8 meter. Okay, the last question here. A square has an area of 16 square centimeter. So this is the area of what? Of a square. Then its perimeter is what? What about its perimeter? Okay. At the first, to get the perimeter, you have to get the side length. How can we get the side? Okay. You have to ask yourself, area equals what? Side times side. So 16 equals what times what? 16 equals what times what? But I ask you about the same number. Okay. So it's 4 times 4. So the side here is what? The side here is 4. To get the perimeter equals side times 4. So 4 times 4 again, it's gonna be 16. 16 what? 16 centimeter. Okay. Now let's move to the next part. He asked you to find the area of this figure. Okay, this is odd shape. Okay, how can we get the area of this one? All the time, if you have odd shape like this, you have to divide it into two shapes. You can get the area of each one of them. So we can divide it from here. We can divide it from here. Now we have to get the area 1 and area 2 and add them together. So the total area equals what? Area 1 plus area 2. But area 1 here is what? Okay, this is a rectangle. It must have length and width. So we have to multiply what by what? This one, this width by this length. But this one is missing, so you have to get it. Ask yourself again, this one equals what? Okay, let me change the color to show you something. Look, this side with this one, it's opposite to what? Opposite to this one. So what plus 4 equals 8? Of course, 4 plus 4 equals 8. So this side is 4 centimeter. Okay? I think now it's easy to get area 1 and area 2. Area 1 equals what times what? 5 times 4. So 5 times 4 plus area 2, this rectangle, the area of this rectangle, it's 1 times 4. 1 times 4. And continue. 5 times 4 is gonna be 20 plus 1 times 4 is gonna be 4. 20 plus 4 equals what? Equals 24. But 24 what? Square centimeter. Don't forget this. Okay. Now let's move to the next part. He show you here bar model. In the bar model, we have number up and number down like this. And if you notice here, we have the symbol. This is a variable. Why? How can we get the variable? How can you get the value of this variable? All the time, you have to search about your number, the other numbers. Okay, now we have one up and one down. Between the number up and the number down, all the time we have minus. They are fighting together all the time. Okay, so between them we have minus. So to get the value of y, you have to subtract 56 minus 26. Let's subtract them together. So 6 minus 6 equals 0. Let's write here down. And after this 5 minus 2, it's gonna be 3. So the value of y is 30. Let's move to the next one. In the bar model, this one of x this time, or the variable this time, it's up. What about the other number? The other numbers, now it's down. Okay, between the numbers down, we have what? The numbers down are friends. They aren't fighting, okay? They are friends. So between them, we have plus, not minus. So to get the value of x, we have to add these two numbers together. So 54 plus 32. Let's add them together. 2 plus 4 is gonna be 6, and the 3 plus 5 equals 8. So it's gonna be 86. Now let's see the last one. What is the value of x? Now we have 333 plus x equals 681. How can we solve like this one? Oh, at the first you have to draw a bar model to can solve like this question. You have to put which number up. Okay, let's see. Now we have two numbers, between them we have plus. So all the time the numbers down, between them we have plus. So take these numbers, they are friends, put them down. 333 and x. And up you have to put the other number, 681. Now, how can we solve this equation? How can we get the value of x? X here, it's gonna be equals the number up minus the number down. 681 minus 333. Let's subtract together. 1 minus 3, it can't be, so I born 1 from 8. It will be 7 and 1 will be 11. Now, 11 minus 3, it's gonna be 8. And 7 minus 3 equals 4. And 6 minus 3 equals 3. So 348. This is the value of x. Now let's move to talk about another thing. Let's talk about factors and multiples. Look at this equation. This is a multiplication equation. 3 times 4 equals 12. Okay. Do you know 3 and 4 are called what? They are called factors. And 12, it's a multiple. And what is the relation between them? We can say 3 and 4 are factors of 12. But 12, it's multiple for both 3 and 4. Let's solve this question. 5 times greater than 6. Okay, it means what? It means 5 times 6. So 5 times 6 is gonna be 30. So this is the answer. 20 times 6 equals what times 20? 20 is here and here. So what is the missing one? It's 6. And this is commutative property, if you remember. 35 times 0 equals what? Well, 0, of course. If you multiply any number by 0, it's going to be 0. What about the result of 3 times 4,000? At the first, you have to multiply 3 and 4 together. 3 times 4 equals 12. After this, just bring down the zeros. Okay, so it's gonna be 12,000. Let's move to the next one. 16 is what times greater than 2? Is the word is in math, it means equal. So 16 equals what times 2? What times 2 equals 16? Of course it's 8. So it's gonna be 8. The multiplicative equation of 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 40 is, I want to change this one into multiplicative equation. So you have to notice which number is repeated, and it's repeated how many times? Oh, 8 here, it's repeated, and it's repeated how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's gonna be 5 times 8, the number is repeated, equals what? Equals 40, the same result. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. The common factor of all numbers is, what is the common factor of all numbers? It's 1. And what about the common multiple for all number? It's 0. Don't forget this. The prime numbers have only how many factors? Oh, the prime number all the time has only 2 factors. The number itself and 1. Okay. The only even prime number is what? What is the only even prime number? It's 2. Number 2. 2, it's even prime number. After this, all the prime number are odd numbers. Okay. The number 13 has how many factors? Oh, how can you get 13? You just multiply 1 by 13 to get 13. So how many factors now do you have? We have 2 factors. Of course, this number now is a prime number, not composite number. Okay. In the next question, he asked you to get the greatest common factor, GCF. GCF, it's what? It's the greatest common factor of 8 and 12. How can we solve like this one? At the first, you have to get that. You can start from here. From 1, 2, 3. So at the first, we can get the factors for both numbers. The factors for what? Factors of 8. And we can get also the factors of the other number, which is 12. And after this, we get the common factor. Okay? Let me remind you about how to get the factors. So let me change the color. We can make like T chart for both numbers, 8. And ask yourself, what times what equals 8? All the time we start with the 1 and the number itself. So this is the first pair all the time. 1 times 8. Okay, after this, 2 times what equals 8? 2 times 4. Do you have another pair? I think not. So the factors here, to get the factors or to write the factors of 8, just take a turn around this shape or around this figure. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now let's get the factors of 12. So we have to make the chart of 12. The first pair is what? Is 1 times 12. After this, 2 times what equals 12? 2 times 6. And also 3 times 4. So we have 3 pairs now. Now let's collect the factors and write them here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now let's get the common one. What are the common one? Oh, we have 1 up and 1 down, so it's common. We have 2 up and 2 down, so it's common. We have 4 up and 4 down, so it's a common. What about 8? No, it's up only, so we can't take it. So the common now are what? 1, 2, and 4. Now we can get the GCF. What is the GCF now? The greatest common factor between them. The greatest one between them is 4. So this is our answer. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Let's see how can we get the multiple and the common multiple. And the first he said to you, find the multiple of each of the numbers 4 and 5 up to 40. Up to 40, it means you have to stop at 40. Stop here at this number. Then find the common multiple between them. How can we get the multiple? You just skip count by 4, for example. So we start with 0. Add 4 more, it's gonna be 4, still at 4. So gonna be 8, 12, and after this 16, after 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Could we continue? No, we have to stop at 40 because he said to you up to 40. Now let's get the multiples of 5. Of course, we start with 0. For this, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You have to stop here also. What are the common now between them? Oh, we have 0 up and 0 down, so 0. We have what again in common? We have 20 up and 20 down, so 20 is common. After this, let's search again. Of course, we have 40 up and 40 down. Do you have another common? No. Okay, let's see the next question. 35 times 23. How can we multiply these two numbers together? We have many strategies. You can use any one. Just solve the question. So you can use any one. Let me start to solve this one by using the standard way. So 35 times 23. At the first, we multiply 3 by 35. So 3 times 5 equals 15. We write 5 and carry up 1. 3 times 3 equals 9. But don't forget we have 1 up. So it's going to be 10. After this, cross this to not to get confused about it. Now we have to multiply the next digit, which is 2 by 35. But don't forget, 2 here, it's in the tens place. So it's like 20 by 35. So all the time when we move to the next row, you have to start with the 0. After this, multiply. So 2 times 5 equals 10. We can put 0 and carry up 1. 2 times 3, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. Did we finish? Not yet. We have to add these two numbers together again. 5 plus 0 equals 5. 0 plus 0, 0, and 1 plus 7 equals 8. So the answer here is gonna be 805. Okay, let's see this question together. He said to you, if 55 divided by 5 equals 11, then the divisor is what? Okay, did you remember this? What is the name of each part? Let me remind you. 24 divided by 4 equals 6. So 24 here is called what? This is the dividend. And the 4 is called divisor and 6 is called quotient. Don't forget this. So again, the divisor in this question is what? It's 5. Just make like this. Find the result of 768 divided by 4. Let me remind you how to divide again. At the first, you have to draw like this model. And all the time we put the dividend in. 768, we put it in. What about 5, the divisor? We put it out on the left. And after this, we start to make like draft. Draft for what? We have to put what in this draft? We have to make a times table for our divisor, 5. So we can make like this. 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2, it's gonna be 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. 5 times 4 equals 20. 5 times 5 equals 25. 5 times 6 is gonna be 30. And we can continue till 9. But let's stop here. If we need more, we can continue. Okay, let's start to divide. At the first, you start to search about the first digit from the left all the time. So 7. 7, it's here? No, but it's between what and what? Between 5 and 10. So all the time you have to return it to the less. Underline 5 and put it down. Circle 1 and put it up. After this, we have to subtract. 7 minus 5 is gonna be 2. Let me remind you about the steps about solving. At the first, we search about your number, like Google search here. After this, subtract, and the last one is bring down. So I think now we search. After this, we subtract, and we have now to bring down. We have to bring down 6. Search about 26. 26, it's between 25 and 30. We return it to the less, so we underline 25 and put it down and circle 5 and put it up and subtract. 26 minus 25 is gonna be 1. Did we finish? No, we still have one digit up. So we have to bring it down. 18. Search about 18. It's between 15 and 20. Return it to the less. Underline 15 and put it down. Circle 3 and put it up. And subtract. 18 minus 15 is gonna be 3. But 3 here, it's smaller than 5. So this one is gonna be remainder. So the answer now, or the quotient now is what? 153 remainder 3. Don't forget your remainder. Let's move to the last part here. 60 minus 10 times 2. How can we solve like this one? We have many operations. So let me remind you about the rules or the order, sorry, of operation. The first one, all the time you have to solve the operation inside the parentheses. After this, we have to solve the divide and multiplication. After this, we have to solve addition and subtraction. So again, the order is what? The first one you have to solve it is the parentheses. After this, if you have divide or times. And the last one, if you have plus or minus. Let's start. Now we have minus and times. You will start with which one of them? Of course, times, because it's stronger. So 10 times 2 is gonna be 20. Now we have a new equation. 60 minus 20 equals what? Equals 40. The next one. We have times minus divide. Which one is the stronger? Divide and times. But which one comes first? Times. So we have to start with it. 2 times 3 equals what? It's gonna be 6. So now we have 6 minus 6 divided by 6. Now you have minus and divide. Which one we will do? Yeah, of course, divide. So 6 divided by 6 is gonna be 1. So now we have 6 minus 1 equals 5. The last one. Oh, we have parentheses here. So you have to solve the operation inside it. So 4 plus 7 is gonna be 11. Now we have what? We have 100 minus 11 times 9. We have now times and subtraction. We start with which one of them? We have to start with the times. It's stronger. 11 times 9 is gonna be 99. So we can say equals 100 minus 99, and it's gonna be 1. This is the final result. And that's all we have for our revision. Hope it will be useful for you. And I hope to see you later. See you soon. Bye.